We are back. We're a born-again Christian, and we're all about love and light. And the Bible, apparently. So, Love and Light, Doreen Virtue's Swan Song. So obviously I'm not going through her decks chronologically because I only have a couple of them. And I didn't even know, but this is her last release with Hay House, her last deck. And it's actually really interesting. It's a really pretty deck. I mean, the box alone is gorgeous. But it's funny, you can kind of tell there's a Jesus deck in between this one and this one. I think that's about it. You can kind of tell that Hay House is a little bit done with her as well, because she used to have, like, for example, with this one, in the beginning her decks were pretty bare bones. Cards, a book, a box, the end. And the more successful she got, the more embellishments there were with her decks. For example, this deck has gold and holographic foil on the box and stuff like that. Most of her decks had gilding. All of that is gone now. So I'm already kind of getting some friction between her and the publisher. Let's see what you get. You get the box, you get the book, you get the cards. The box is really pretty though, with that yellow inside. And then you get the cards. The card backs are amazing. I mean, look at them. They are really pretty. The art in this deck is, for the most part, really good, but the guidebook is what makes it interesting. So, in the beginning of the book, every deck book, there is a also by Doreen Virtue thing. And let's compare the Angels of Abundance to this. You will sort of notice the difference. The Angels of Abundance is way thicker. So other card decks by Doreen Virtue, it's all of this list and then all of this. All right. So that's Angels of Abundance. With this one, we get a list of books, which are all her more Christian books and her cook books and food books. And then we get one deck, Loving Words from Jesus. So she's already kind of omitting all her previous work from the guidebook. The Divine Guidance cards are very much about Jesus, God, the Bible, biblical texts. Let's see. This is where it gets interesting. How to work with the Love and Light Divine Guidance cards. Since I became a born-again Christian in February 2017, my cards and books more fully reflect my love for and devotion to Jesus. These cards are among my new card deck genre called Divine Guidance cards. These types of cards aren't for predictions or divination, which is exactly what I will be using them for, however. Instead, Divine Guidance cards are for reflection and contemplation, and for use as a devotional in helping you access God's messages for you. Each card is graced with a relevant and supportive scripture from my favorite Bible translation, the New Living Translation. These cards are a wonderful tool to begin your day on a positive note. You can pray for a message and pull a card and then meditate upon its relevance to you. Yada, yada, yada. I hope that you enjoy the beautiful artwork accompanying each card. The artists Takaki Kagaya Yutaka and Bill Singleton are especially adept at capturing the epic and sublime scope of God's nature. La 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 la. La 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 blah blah blah. So it's all about shining your light, and I'm not about that Bible life at all. However, She did choose some really, really pretty and inspiring quotes. For example, this one: "No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house." So then we get the expanded meanings of the cards, which is pretty similar to whatever she's always done. Let's see if there's anything in the back. There are no commercials for angel card certifications anymore, stuff like that. So all of that is gone. Within the span of a few months, it all feels very quick because Angels of Abundance was published in the same year. So within a year, she became a born-again Christian, and all of her work was already kind of softly denounced. And then I believe she spoke to a pastor. So she had, in 2017, she had a vision of Jesus, which turned her into a born-again Christian. And then she did the Jesus deck and this deck. And then she spoke to a pastor who told her that that vision of Jesus wasn't an actual vision of Jesus. And then she no longer softly omitted her work, but then she and Hay House completely broke off. And you can read her side of the story online. It's actually pretty interesting. For now, let's look at this deck. I'm gonna zoom us in. Here we are. So what's interesting is we get, it's very standard, kind of cookie cutter Oracle deck style. We get the header, the title, which is very usable, which is the part that I will be using for the most part. And then we get a little bit of Bible text at the bottom, which I'm not that interested in. And then in between, in this little square, oh man, we get the art. And I really, really, really wish they would have blown up the art. Maybe put a little banner down here with the title and the text, because the art in this deck is really, really good. It's probably art style wise the most cohesive Doreen Virtue. No, that's not true. I think Angel Answers and I have seen Crystal Angels as well, the Dutch versions. I think Angel Answers and Crystal Angels are the most cohesive art-wise because they're by one artist. This is with 3 artists, but this definitely sort of like sits with those as well as far as cohesion goes. Because the art is really pretty and they do really, the illustrations do really radiate light. And they are, for the most part, very connected to the message on the card. So patience is its own reward. Love that. I'm a little bit sniffy. It's probably because it's the middle of winter and I'm wearing a tank top and the heating is not on. So we gotta change that soon. Give peace a chance. I do love that. I do love the artwork by Takaki and by Gagaya. It is very, very, very Asian, very anime, very digital. I think it's really cool. All right, on to Pure and Unconditional Love by Bill Singleton. If you watched my part 3 down at Doreen Virtue Avenue where I talked about the Angels of Abundance, I can still get that card out here because it was the second to last card of the deck. Yes. You've probably seen me talk about this guy right here. Oh, he's so shiny you can even see my face. Hi. Bill Singleton does this weird, I mean, the booklet doesn't say it's computer generated, but this looks CGI as hell, computer generated art. And he did a lot of the Jesus imagery in the deck, and I just kind of saw that he's not even really consistent within that. And I do believe we did have that, like, what Jesus actually would have looked like reconstruction, and I kind of feel like this was slightly based on that. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of archaeologists and other like people kind of reconstructed what Jesus would have looked like. This is kind of reminiscent of that, but there's something off about the face. Spend more time outdoors. Do love that. Helping others is helping yourself. Once again, the Singleton weird Jesus guy. Okay, cooperation and partnership bring great rewards. So this is by the same guy. These are both very Jesus-like images. I like this one a little bit better. Express yourself through creativity. Once again, like these Asian artists, they knock it out of the park. I adore it. Follow the path that's right for you. This is the box and back artwork as well. Reflect God's compassion. Take care of the little things. So camp. Embrace adventure in your life. So this is another Singleton one, and I don't mind this one that much. Celebrate the beautiful gift of life. Love this one as well. Make the best of every situation. With God, everything is possible. So this artwork is gorgeous. Doesn't really relate to the card meaning to me, but you know, whatever. It looks really cool. Retreat from the outside world. Love it. Release your cares to God. Love it. Become still so you may hear God. Also love that artwork. It is very God and Jesus-y and very biblical, but I knew that going into this deck. I just wanted to get it because I can easily replace God with spirit or the universe in my mind and get great readings from this. Gentleness is the path of peace. Focus on your blessings. Wow. It is kind of weird that we get this very westernized idea of religion juxtaposed against these very Asian pieces of artwork, bar Bill Singleton. Like, this is another like Jesus image that's once again different from all the other ones we've seen so far, and I don't really get why there's no consistency. God will lead the way. It's time to be adventurous and play. I adore this. Like, I really adore these artists, and I'm definitely going to see if I can find them on Instagram. Commit to a spirit of excellence. Whatever you do, do well. Interesting. Leave a trail of love as you walk the earth. Gorgeous. Shine your inner light brightly. Blessings of innocence and purity. Be the powerful presence of peace. I mean, come on, look at this artwork. Walk away from illusions and toward truth, which is exactly what she did, according to herself. Focus on God's love. The gift of love and light. Speak words of love. Connecting with the living water. This is really funny. So I pulled this card for myself yesterday when I was kind of playing with the deck. And I have really been yearning to visit the ocean again, so I probably should soon. Have the faith to walk through new doors. I love the kitschiness of all of this. This is so kitschy. This is so camp, and this is why I love decks like this. They're just high camp, so kitschy, so cool. Look at life from a higher perspective. Like, a lot of his art really makes sense. Acknowledge God's truth. And once again, if I were to get a prompt for illustrating something like this, I would probably not know what to do. So this is just a praying angel, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess. But then again, I don't know how these decks were constructed. In my ideal world, Doreen would have written all these titles and texts in the full guidebook, and the artists would have been given assignments. What probably most likely happened is they went through the back catalog of all these artists and found these pictures and maybe had some commission, but I'm not sure about the process. Would have loved to have been in the room for these board meetings, especially board meetings. Don't know if they were board meetings, but these team meetings, I'm guessing there must have been a team Doreen, and they must have been panicking at the time, because this is such a shift from what she used to do, because the Jesus deck didn't even, at least the Dutch version, didn't even come with a guidebook. It was just pictures and Bible verses. And it seems like this was kind of maybe her being pushed back into a mold where that people actually liked. And I think this deck may have been the final straw for Hay House, honestly. But I do think it is a lovely swan song. A happy home. Once again, this Jesus looks way different. And these are all by the same artist. Like, make it make sense. Let love light the way. Gorgeous. Like, honestly, these Asian artists are so good. Use loving strength and discernment. Adorable. This one isn't even credited. So I think this was just a stock image that they found, or it's by Bill Singleton. With God, all things are possible. This is by far the most not ambiguous, hyper-religious image we have here. So face your future with boldness and strength. Gorgeous. Make time to work, rest, and play. Once again, I do like this one. I do like this one by him. It's just the Jesus portraits are not my thing. Honor your uniqueness. Oh, that one's interesting. Bathe in divinity. Love this one as well. Like, it's really good artwork, y'all. Move boldly into a golden future. And then once again, this one kind of reminds me of the one from the Angels of Abundance. Let's see if we can get them both into close-up, where it's almost like this is digital artwork. This one not so much as this one, but you guys know what I mean, right? And that's the last one. So what I want to kind of do with this one, since it's so different and special, I want to shuffle the cards, which is what I'm doing now. I'm doing it off screen because my camera is way too close for me to actually shuffle on camera. But I am shuffling. You can kind of see the corners of the cards, I think. We're going to shuffle, and I'm going to riffle, and I'm going to see if I can find a little message for all of us. And I'm going to read the guidebook entry because I feel like that's going to be really interesting for this one. It just amazes me how someone's work can change so quickly overnight. Oh, we got the digitally illustrated angel. Move boldly into a golden future. Trust in the Lord. Lord, of course, has to be capitalized and in a different font. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Seek his will. The his should be capitalized as well. Seek his will in all you do, and he should be capitalized, will show you which path to take. Okay, spelling mistakes, not such a good look, but hey. Okay, the message from the guidebook. Children naturally trust their innate curiosity and divine guidance as they move boldly within their natural environment. They gain confidence as they learn how to become proficient at simple tasks and then begin to master the more difficult ones. Each situation we experience makes us stronger. We start to learn that boldness and confidence are helpful approaches to life. Not to be confused with arrogance. Boldness is a beautiful thing to behold when it's divinely inspired. But when do you know? Watching a master artist at work is captivating. As they boldly carve, mold, or paint, the shapes magically appear and patterns emerge. We sometimes find ourselves in situations where we need to think or act in a bold manner. We can pray for more confidence, or what I like to call Godfidence. Okay, because when the powerful Spirit of God is working through us, all things are possible. Godfidence means that you have supreme confidence in God handling anything that comes your way. And then we get the same blurb that was on the card itself. Okay, Godfidence. Okay, so I will be using this deck. I will not be using it in a traditional sense where I'm not going to be using the guidebook at all because. Like I said, religion is a very difficult topic for me. The fact that I can even look at cards with angels on them and cards that have the word God on them is already quite a magnificent feat for me. So I'm going to use this deck, but I'm just going to be working with the titles and maybe if it resonates with the little Bible quotes at the bottom. It's just, once again, so cool to have this as a sort of time capsule of what divination used to look like and what divination used to be like and how things have changed. And I kind of feel like since she left, Hay House has never really come back to that level. Like they were the biggest spiritual publisher. I don't know who is now. Maybe they still are, but as far as card decks go, they're still big, but it's nowhere near where it used to be. And it's interesting because even though I like this deck better than graphically, I like this deck better than the messages from your angels. You can literally feel that there's less intention in this. You can literally feel that this woman is tired, that this woman is done, that this woman is being pushed into pushed into a mold that doesn't fit her anymore. And that's very obvious because this got, I mean, honestly, from this to this, there's less than a year in between. This got a mass market release, and this is not Hay House's thing at all. This and the Jesus deck, they must have been kind of, but it did get released, and there were, I don't know, thousands upon thousands of copies printed. So, very interesting, very cool, pretty deck. And whenever I come back with a new episode, I don't know, but more decks are on their way. So, bye.